trying to keep my herb garden and the other gardens weeded. And this is the little part that's next to my door, the part that was herb garden last year and that the dog dug up over here. You probably have seen that. And just looking at the weeds coming up in here, yeah, not too bad. There's one right here that I try to really get out a lot. I mean, it's gosh, I can't think what I don't know the common name of it. Diodia is the name of it. It's just it's a good ground cover actually if you don't care about anything else in there. You get little flowers. You see in here? Little 4-petal flowers. It's low to the ground, spreading. And I generally pull it out because it's crowding other things. In this case, there's really nothing else coming up in here. I probably should go ahead and pull it out because it will reseed itself and it'll just come up everywhere if I don't. So in a minute, I will get that out. Let's see what else. In here, this is my yarrow. I have yarrow, a big clump of yarrow over here. There's my tool that I've been using. Big clump of yarrow right in here it was to the outside of this bed. This bed was curved. Let's see if you can hear. Let me get up a little bit. Narrow here next to this little walk, and then it curved around to there. Okay. And so this part in here was a little gravelly, very gravelly. But this yarrow did very, very well. So I dug up a clump. You can see where I dug up a clump right there. And I divided it and I moved it here into the middle of the bed, and it's going to do well. Since I've moved most of my herbs over to the other bed, this is going to be fine. And just looking at little things that are coming up. And I have been weeding. I hadn't finished weeding. There's a little morning glory, or it could be a wild morning glory. And you see the little chartreuse kind of color leaves that are coming up in here. All in here. Can you see that? All through here. These little things. You get right down close to it. That. I think it's related to purslane. And we know purslane is edible. That other seedlings coming up in here. And what this is, the scientific name for this one is Talinum paniculatum. And a panicle is a flower, it's a type of flower. I mean, the way the flower grows. It's like a cluster of flowers on a stem is a panicle. So paniculatum would mean it has a panicle. That's basically, most of the scientific names are descriptive. And if you know what they mean, you can picture what the plant's going to look like. And you've got more of the same thing. Let me come over here and show you here. There's another. That's another one of the little talinum plants getting ready to bloom, getting ready to flower. Putting a little pink bud on it. And then there's another one right there. And there's seedlings. The little kind of yellowish seedlings in here that you're seeing. Look right in here. Are these tiny little seedlings that have just come up? Those are just the cotyledons. Those are their seed leaves. These are dicots, so they have 2 seed leaves. And you see some violets. And here is a little piece of crabgrass hiding in there that's going to come out in a minute. Now, thinking about this, and I'll come back to the other stuff in a minute, it's interesting that all of these other plants have been blooming and they're big. They came up from seeds. And this came up from seeds. This is my perilla. That's the shiso. Came up from seeds. So why is it that these little things have just now decided to come up? It's all in the timing, and what nature has chosen is their time to come up. Even though they've been in the ground the same length of time as the other things. I just think it's kind of interesting. Now, I showed you this plant and said I was going to come back to it. This is pennyroyal. You may have heard of pennyroyal. Pennyroyal is in the mint family. I mean, it's kind of obvious. Well, it's obvious if you know what mint flowers look like. So this is in the mint family. Has square stems and it's aromatic and all of that. So it's in the mint family. But it's very, very low growing. And that's why I chose this. That's why I put this here. I wanted it as a ground cover. And it's going to make a good ground cover. The only problem is it looks like it is probably suited for cooler climates that I've got, because this area right in here just suddenly just died out when it got real hot and dry. I think as long as I keep it watered really, really well, it'll stay. But if I don't water it, it's going to die. Well, it died out last year and came back, so I guess it's just a cool weather plant. I guess I'll find out about that. And this is an herb. I mean, you've heard of pennyroyal before and probably never knew what it did. And when I bought the seeds, and I can't remember what seed company I bought them from, but it said that this herb should not be given to pregnant women because it causes abortion. So it's in, what do they call it, an abortifacient, I believe is the term they use for this. Here's another, this is a different weed. This is a little grass that's been coming up in this area for a long time. It's real easy to pull up. Now I'm talking about not pulling it up from the end. I mean, I did manage to get a little bit of root on that. But you know, when you pull up plants, you come down to the base of it and get it from the base. And this one just isn't wanting to come up very well. Here we go, I got it. There we go. See this? What is this with it? That looks like it might be a piece of the mint. Yep, I got a piece of mint with it. I'll stick that back in the ground. Maybe pot it up, because I like, this is chocolate mint. I want to keep the chocolate mint. And there's still this little weed right here. Get that. It comes up pretty easily. There's another little piece of it right here. They're just watching me weed my garden. I've got other things in here too, but I thought that was interesting. Oh, there's something else. Let me see. Right over here in the middle of what used to be the walk. Right there. I'll show you the other one that's flowering right now. There's one more of them. Come over here on this side. And there's the other one. There's that pile of edging that I've got there that's probably going to go in a box today, or maybe over the weekend it's going to rain, so maybe not until next week. This is chamomile. Chamomile. I had chamomile growing in here last year. A whole bed of chamomile. This whole patch right in here was chamomile. And out of that all seeded, I have 2 plants. Chamomile is a cool weather plant. It does not grow very well here at all. In our climate, chamomile would be something that you would plant in the very, very early spring, about the same time that you'd be planting lettuce. So it'll grow about the same time as lettuce, and then it'll peter out. Will not continue. But I thought that was kind of interesting. Out of all of the chamomile that I had growing here last year, I have 2 chamomile plants. Go figure. So here's this one little area. This is part of my little herb garden. But talinum, the common name for talinum is jewels of opar. That's one of the common names of talinum, jewels of opar. That was named after a Tarzan book by Edgar Rice Burroughs. I think it was Tarzan and the Jewels of Opar. And so this was the common name, is Jewels of Opar, after the Tarzan book. And so there it is, and I'll show you later when it gets more flowers on it. The flowers, just tiny little pink flowers. Not very showy. I mean, they're feathery. It's kind of like baby's breath. I think maybe one of the other names of this is pink baby's breath. But all these little seedlings right in here, teeny tiny little seedlings right in here, are going to be this talinum. So there'll be quite a bit of it right in here, and this will be nice. But it is sort of succulent. It's a succulent plant, very similar to purslane. So this will be a good place for it, and it probably will grow well right in here. And it'll cover up this gravelly dirt that I've got in this area right here by these daylilies. So that's it for this morning. I wanted to show you, this is all I'm going to show you this morning, is this little patch of herb garden, and what I have growing and what I'm trying to dig up. And so, here we go. This is more of the little plant that the little lady's fingers that I've been digging up everywhere. Let me get that up right now while I'm talking about it. If I can get to it. It's been cut down some, so I'm come down in here, way down near the base, and see if I can get it. And I didn't get all. I got some of it, but not all of it. You know, when you plant plants like this, if you get it way down, right at the base, right where the roots come out of the dirt, it's a lot easier to pull up, and you're more likely to get the whole plant. If you pull it just from the tip, you're going to break it off and it's going to come back. And I'm seeing ants, so I want to try to avoid those. See, I got that. But if you pull it up from here, all it does is it breaks the leaves. So you come, everybody who's a gardener knows this. I'm not teaching you anything, but the main thing is just to come way down at the base and you can generally get the roots. And how many roots did you snap off before you learned that? And I've come out of my shoe, I feel an ant crawling on my toe. Get it before it bites me. Like I said, I saw ants. I found these Crocs. Well, they're not actually Crocs. They're a knockoff Crocs in my closet that I bought the year after I moved here. These are 10 years old at least. But I had worn out the other shoes that I had worn last year in the garden, my sandals that I was wearing. And I was looking to see, well, do I have anything else that I can wear without going to buy something? And I found these. Of course, all the holes in them. They're wonderful to wear out. Oh, they're fabulous to wear as gardening shoes. You can just wash them off. And they're like, you know, you step in a mud puddle, and yeah, you're probably going to get some mud on your toes. And I have. In fact, I had to go someplace yesterday. And all the soaking that I did, I couldn't get the mud off my toenails and was washing my toenails with a toothbrush. And still couldn't get the mud out of my toenails and ended up wearing a closed-toe shoe. Isn't that funny? How many times have you done something like that? So here again, this is over in a different spot. I said I wasn't going to show different spots, but this is that lady's thumb. And look, here's the little flowers. Tiny little flowers. But I need to pull that up before those flowers go to seed, and I'll have it everywhere again. I think this is going to be an ongoing process, because the plants do they drop their seeds, and all of them don't come up the next year. A lot of them stay in the ground and they don't germinate, and they come back year after year after year, and that is called a seed bank. It's kind of an interesting term, but I guess that's actually what it is when you think about it. The seeds are being saved, just like you save money in a bank. So in the ground, in the soil, the seeds are being saved to come back in years. You know, who knows how many years they're going to stay in the ground. So that's the seed bank, and there's no telling what the seed bank is on this lady's thumb. So here we go. That's it for today. So I will go inside and do my inside work. It is so nice and cool. It's cloudy. It's a day that I would like to stay outside and work a lot longer, but I've got things that have to get done inside. So let me go get back to my inside work, and I will see you next time. Bye, y'all.